So today we're going to check fluids on the vehicle. We're going to check engine oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid, antifreeze, and we'll check the air in the tires. And then we'll go from there. And then once you pop the hood releases, underneath the hood, they all have a release, so you can get the hood open and a prop rod. So this is a 4-cylinder Ford, and almost all dipsticks have a yellow top to them on the top here. You look under the hoods, and most of them are yellow. Give it a good wipe. Put it back in, pull it out a second time, and then you can read the oil levels. Where this one here is just about on full. So engine oil is good in this car. Over here under another cap is for washer fluid. They're always located under the hood. And then back here will be your transmission fluid on the driver's side towards the rear. And same idea. You pull it out, wipe it off. Most transmissions you have to have the car running when you check them. And you always dip it twice. First time to wipe it, second time to check it. And you can see this one here is on the add mark, so we'll probably put some oil on that one. With a tall reservoir on the back by the firewall here. This is brake fluid. And most of the times you can see right through them. And a little wiggle, you can see that the fluid is right there, just right on the full. And that takes .3 brake fluid on 99% of the cars. Over here we have antifreeze, which is an antifreeze jug. You just take this lid off, pretty simple. Always do it when the engine's cold. And if you look through the side of it, you can see where the level is. Give it a little wiggle there, you can see it wiggles, and that's right on the full mark. So that's good to go. That's basically how you check your fluids in your vehicle. Around this edge here, it'll tell you the size of the tire, and then over here, I'll show you. It says PSI cold, and that's rated on every tire. Most passenger car tires are 35 PSI to 44. This one happens to be 51, but that's maximum pressure. And if you look in the driver's door, it'll actually tell you what pressure to set these tires at. There'll be a tag inside the driver's door that'll explain to you what the tires are supposed to be. So that's what that's the recommended pressures for this vehicle are in that doorway. And so this here we have a tire gauge, so we can check the air in the tires. Take the valve stem cover off. And then you can check the air in the tires that way. And if you need air, most gas stations have an air chuck, so you can put air inside of them. Like that. And then when you're done, always put your valve stem cover back on.
Today we're going to look at our windshield wipers. If you have streaking or spots that's not cleaning your windshield, you may need to replace them. This is a common J-hook one, which is fairly simple to replace. There's a little clip here you press with your thumb and slide the windshield wiper blade off. And the new one's going to go on the same way. Just line this up through the slot and it will snap back into place. And you can test your windshield wipers and make sure they are working. They also will lock up into place like that. Sometimes if the weather's bad and you know snow's coming, you can raise them up like this, then it becomes much easier to clean your windshield off and they won't be frozen down when you're ready to go. One thing you may encounter is if your car won't start, it could possibly have a dead battery. We're going to kind of show you how you can jump start your car from another vehicle. First you want to open the hood. Most commonly the hood latch is going to be inside the driver's door. safety latch under the hood. You have to find and move it to one side or the other. You can lift the hood. There'll be a support. You find the hole to put that in, and that will hold your hood up. Now you want to get your other vehicle that's running close to the car with the dead battery, and you'll take your jumper cables I like to get one end like this, so you don't want this end to touch. And on the vehicle that's running, you want to take the red cable and hook it up to the positive of the battery, which is most commonly red, and the black one hook up to the negative terminal on the battery. Then, being careful these don't touch anything, you will take the red cable and hook it up to the battery that has the red indicator on it. Now the black one on the vehicle with the dead battery, you don't want to hook it to the battery because it can spark, and we don't want sparks near a dead battery. So the best way to do the black one is to find a metal object on the car where you can hook it to that. So it's going to spark when you hook it up, and we don't want the sparks near the battery. So on the car with the dead battery, you only want the positive or the red cable hooked up. The black one goes to a metal object on the car. This I went to the radiator support. A lot of vehicles have a hook here where a mechanic would use to pull the engine, and that's always a good spot to hook it up as well, is just to a good solid metal ground. And sometimes you can try the vehicle. Sometimes it takes a few minutes though. You have to let it charge from the good car for 5 or 10 minutes sometimes, and then your car will start. The process for disconnecting is the same. Do the black one first, then the red one, and just prevent them from touching together till you get the cables disconnected off the other vehicle. And so you may encounter, if your vehicle won't start, that your battery may have actually gone bad. So if you're going to get a replacement battery, here's your terminals here that you have to loosen. So you have to loosen these screws, and you may need to take a pair of pliers and wiggle these back and forth to get them off. And this is a very common problem here, this corrosion around a battery, and that really needs to be cleaned off. You can actually just use Coca-Cola and pour it on there, and it will clean that corrosion right off. A lot of batteries have a clip, which is right here. This clip here is the battery hold down, and you just take this bolt out, and that plastic wedge will come out of there, and then you have your cables disconnected. You can lift the battery straight up and out, and then just reverse the procedure for the new one. It will fit in there. Put your wedge back in with the bolt, and then try to clean your cables as best you can and hook those back up. So another problem you might encounter if your car is overheating, your cooling system may not be working. The radiator is tucked in here behind the grill, and then there's electric fans on there that run to keep your car engine cool. That may require a mechanic to figure all that stuff out. But one common problem, if you're low on coolant, even though the radiator's here, most vehicles have a plastic tank off to the side that is where you check your antifreeze at. This is a pressure cap, so you don't ever want to take this off when the vehicle's hot. I'm going to take it off after there's been a time for cooling. You'll always see a line that says minimum level and maximum level on this tank, and this is where you want to add antifreeze if it's low or empty. You don't ever want to try to access the radiator. This is where you add it, and then screw this cap back on, and it will ratchet lock into place again. So if you can counter a flat tire, you're going to have to attempt to change it where you're at. So most vehicles in the back, underneath, you're going to find the spare tire. It's located here. It may or may not be the same size as your tire. It might be smaller. That's just for an emergency to get you off the road or to where you can get the tire repaired. So this one here, we're going to unscrew this piece here, holds the tire down. Then this piece also, and you can rip this tire out, and this is going to be your spare, and you can see it's a different size than the vehicle's regular tire. It's smaller. It's most likely going to have a reduced speed rating on the tire that recommends, 30 or 40 miles an hour. It's just to get you on the road again until you can get your tire repaired. So that's what most spares look like. They're usually smaller. So in here, I keep my jumper cables back here as well, so I always know there's a set with the vehicle. But most of the time under the tire you're going to find your toolkit to be able to jack the vehicle up and change the tire. This is what the jack is going to look like. So you have your jack and your jack handle. This will go under in front of the back tire if you're changing, or behind the front tire. There'll be a little groove in the bottom of the car that this fits into, and then you'll be able to turn this up a ways by hand. To get the jack in place in the groove under the vehicle, and just snug it up so it just doesn't move. Then before you raise the vehicle, you want to loosen the lug nuts on the tire, and most of these have a little pry bar in the end which you can pop the hubcap off. Then you just want to loosen these lug nuts counterclockwise to loosen them. Don't want to take them off yet, but you just want to loosen them up while the weight of the vehicle is on the tire. Otherwise the tire is going to spin and you won't be able to get them loose. So once you have all those loosened, then this end also fits the jack. You raise the vehicle till the tire is off the ground. Then finish removing the lug nuts all the way. Don't ever put your hands above the tire here, because if it falls off the jack, you don't want to get your hand or arm caught. Always grab the tire from the right and left side to remove it. Then you can roll your spare into place, line it up on the bolts, tighten the bolts down snug, lower your jack back down, and then you can finish tightening all the bolts once the weight of the vehicle is back on the ground. So you can always refer to the owner's manual in each vehicle, because every vehicle is going to have just slight differences from this one, but the basics are all the same. And that should get you back on the road with your spare on. And you always want to check your spare several times a year, especially if you're going to go on a trip. Just check the pressure in it, because it won't be of any help to you if it's flat. Another reminder I wanted to give you is there's a lot of good information in your owner's manual. If you refer to that, it's going to tell you how to change the tire on your specific vehicle. Inside the driver's door, it will give you tire size and tire pressure. And if you're out there and you encounter a problem, just don't be afraid to call for help as well. And we just want to keep you safe out on the road. Thanks.